Hi, today we are on our 31st session on how to prepare for job interviews. In terms of SWOC analysis, we discussed a bit on strengths. In general, what are the strengths in terms of an employment you should be aware of? Using some specific skills, I gave you some examples. Today we are going to discuss on weakness in little more details. So when we are talking about weaknesses, first and foremost weakness will be your personal qualities. For example, if the job offer or the classified that comes on print or some communication asks for a specific gender, then if you are on the opposite gender, that's a weakness. That means you don't have that gender, you are not in that gender, so you can't prefer that job. You can do anything about it, as well as there is no much to discuss about it. So some specific jobs and profiles are required to be notified with a specific gender. That is order of the day. There are some jobs which the other gender might not be so good at. Again, in my personal opinion, it is so biased. Still, that is how the employment market is. We can't do anything about it. Next, specific weakness that you can pose or expect are in terms of WEX. WEX means work experience. In terms of international labor market, WEX is work experience. If an organization wants a candidate with more than certain years of experience and you don't have that duration, then that is again a weakness. Probably, if you cope up with the further years of experience and look back this same opportunity, and it comes again unclassified, you will be ready for that. But presently, you are not having that kind of duration, which they want. That's a weakness. Then another weakness that we can have is our personal inabilities. Maybe you are not good in the specific language that the organization wants. You are not produced any good results to show that you are capable of doing that particular job. You don't have some standard testimonials, proofs of your achievements. In this context, let me give you an example. If an organization asks for a graduation from nationally reputed institution or AICT certified institution or from this university background or from this particular educational background. These kind of references that are there in the classifieds are some weaknesses that can throw on you. You are also qualified, but unfortunately not from the institution where they wanted from. You are also qualified, but unfortunately not to that level of ranking or certification. So these are all some specific weaknesses. Then some personal incapacities again, like low stress level. Means I can't manage over stress. I can't manage time pressures. If I have these kind of problems, they are all my strengths. Where there is no such time pressure. There is no stress, but in a different context, where the work nature is of too much stress. It is of too much time pressure. There, it's a weakness. Not able to manage stress level is a weakness. Not able to manage time pressures is a weakness. Sometimes our weakness we show in terms of non-preparation. Maybe you are going to attend an interview and the employer wanted you to know about the employment and the organization. With this aim or purpose, they have already shared the profile or the website, details of the employment, everything, and they expected you to answer for certain questions and you are not prepared enough. Then that's a weakness. Please note, if any employer gives you a data or detail well in advance before the interview, they are going to expect you to be aware of those details. If you are not prepared on those terms, then that's a weakness. So how cool he has come without even preparing the data that we have given. So that kind of a tendency, any employer won't like. Then there are some weaknesses. Maybe they wanted a specific background and that background you don't have. For example, if it is a job from government sector, they might want somebody in the same sector, or your parents employed here, or your relatives known to you or in this organization. These are the questions where you will be in dilemma whether to put yes or no. If there is no one, you have to put no. That might become a weakness. If there are people, if you put, you put yes for those questions, that also might become a weakness. So case to case basis, situation to situation basis, employer to employer basis, these are either becoming strength or weaknesses. Then we are going to discuss in the later sessions about how the employer checks if you have told the truth. So saying a lie is also a weakness. Later stages, we will be discussing those terms. Then what is your self-worth, your self-feeling? What is your confidence level? To know all these aspects, they might put into various tests and interviews in which we fail. They also become weakness. Yeah, at times, we may even overreact or overact or over-project from what we are to get the job. Somehow we have to crack through this interview. With that idea, we might be overdoing something. That will also become a weakness. So how these are all weakness with reference to the particular profile and industry, we will be discussing later sessions. Bye.